What's going on here? No.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Black Ops 2 veteran video walkthrough, and this is Mission 9, Odysseus. And I've got to say, folks, I love some of the names of these missions, because I'm a massive fan of shall we say, you know, old school names, or quite eclectic names, and Odysseus is just bossing. Because if you steep anything into Greek mythology, or any kind of mythology, you're going to come across some pretty badass names. There's not many Daves, or many Roys. They're all pretty badass, and I am a fan. But you'll notice there's been a quick transition there as we get into the game. I've got rid of all the interrogation sequence, the logic that is this game's storyline at moments, which does fall apart, but for the most I really enjoyed. And these are the guns I chose. I've got an SMG for the close quartered stuff. I've picked an SMG I've not used yet so that everybody can see something different. And I've also gone with my tried and tested millimeter sensor and an assault rifle. This checkpoint here is rough as tits. If you do not run into that alcove really quickly, you'll be instant dead. There's no negotiations, you'll just be filled with bullets, and it's bullshit, so be very careful. And that turret on the roof is the main priority because everybody else is easy compared to him. He's a douchebag, so take care of him first. And this is literally corridor shooting at its best. The difference is you now have the advantage because you can see where the enemy is. And if they hide too long, you can hit them in cover. So this mission, for all intents and purposes, is very simple. There is a ton of guys though, and if you do get sloppy or get unlucky, you can die, so be very careful. But if you're doing what I do, and that is cheesing everybody with my awesome Farsight-esque sniper guns, you should be fine. This is a misleading door as well. When this opens, it's a friendly, he then immediately dies, and then a bad guy comes. Friendly, bad guy. He caught me off a few times, him. This corridor's filled with bad guys, so be very careful. I bet this campaign's a lot more fun to go through if you can put the toughness perk on so that you don't flinch as much when you get shot. Because one of the things that I hate the most about Call of Duty and every other semi-realistic first-person shooter is the flinch. And it's exemplified by the fact that the computer does not miss. The computer has really good aim. Perfect aim. One might call them a computer when it comes to aiming. They're noughts and zeros, noughts and ones. You know, just a bunch of numbers, and if they want to put a 1 on top of your 0, they're going to put a 1 in your 0. It's that simple. You can't dodge it, you just get 1 to the face. And when it makes you flinch, it can be that really annoying game of your aim keeps getting knocked off the target that's shooting you, so he eventually kills you because you couldn't physically shoot him because you weren't a robot as well. And that can be really frustrating. These things here are a pain in the ass because they hurt. But once you've done that, if you come over to the panel on my right that says access, you're going to be able to hack a minigun that's in this room, and you do not have to shoot anyone in this room. This minigun will do it for you. Well, technically, you'll have to do it in the minigun, but you don't have to waste any of your own ammo. And I don't know if this can be shot enough so that it stops working, but I would believe so, even though these guys really try to get rid of it and it doesn't work. And look at this, just absolute brutality. And I'm curious to see what that career record updated is, because it happens a lot, and because I was playing on a gamer tag that's not my own, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But you'll notice when I came off, when it was empty, a couple more guys spawned in, so I go back to the turret and continue to take them down. The turret will overheat. That's me killing a friendly, because he looked like a bad guy. Oh, why did you have to do that, man? I don't feel bad. You know, at the end of the day, it's him or me, and if he's a friendly, he just so happens to be a friendly. But this is the deck. This is where we get to use the computer, and then we can move towards the story elements of this section, because this is where everything really kicks off in the game. This is where the drone army gets unleashed, and it's kind of obvious what's going to happen. It was to me anyway. But I've got one real problem with this sequence, and there's a twist that involves a certain member of the goodies being a bad guy and helping the bad guy. But the problem is, it doesn't make any sense, because the guy who is the bad guy is at the start of the level where you start, and then when you get to the end of the level, he's at the end of the level before you get there. And it's like, how did you get that far through this level when I never saw you? Like, were you sneaking your way through the only section that didn't have millions of guys trying to shoot you? Or was I just unlucky and I picked all the doors where the bad guys were? Like this section right here. There's a bunch of friendlies. I think it's safe. I run down here, and luckily enough, these guys don't have the best reflexes for perfect aim soldier bots. And I managed to kill all of them. But that could have gone rough. But yeah, I know looking for plot holes in a Call of Duty is pretty easy. But I still do it for some reason, because my heart's in the right place. Just be careful there. Like, do you see what I mean? Just then, on any other Call of Duty, I would have died on that corridor, because you just can't do that. You can't stay out that long. And anyone who's played the Mile High Club on Call of Duty 4 will know that, you know, there's a lot of dudes looking at you on Veteran. You don't last very long. But this series has not had anything as hard as the Mile High Club since, which to some people will probably find that disappointing, but I'm kind of glad. Mile High Club definitely pushed the boundaries of difficulty taste. If there was no timer, that would have been perfectly fine. But the timer, the way it existed, fuck that section, my god. And I am biased, guys, because I did get to the hostage 3 times, and I failed all 3 times before I finally got it, because I just kept choking on the shot, so I had to do both the floors of the plane far too many times. And I know there'll be that one guy in the comments that like, oh, I can do the Mile High Club with my feet. Well, I've got a girlfriend, so fuck off. But this sequence here, as I've mentioned, it's all corridors. You know, use the millimeter scanner to see people, wall bang them as best as you can, stay safe, be careful of these guys rushing. That's the power fist I just smacked that guy with. And this air conditioning unit thing that I'm sat behind is really useful, apparently. I didn't realise it was this good. But just keep on shooting, keep on moving forward. Don't worry too much about your ammo, you've got plenty of it, and we will no doubt find a box to refill if you're ever in trouble, because this game's pretty generous with ammo, which is good. But where does Black Ops go from now? Because the endings are a little bit ambiguous. Both of them have got really strange end sections to them. I'm not too sure which one is considered the good ending, which one is considered the bad ending, because they're both kind of relative to their own situations. So I'm not too sure how that works. But you know there'll probably be another Black Ops, and if there isn't, there's probably going to be another period game. Like, maybe they'll go completely into the future where everybody's shooting thoughts at each other and we're all overdosing on bad dreams. Or something ridiculous. Oh, Tony Todd shouting. And when Tony Todd shouts, he means business. That guy was the Candyman once. Oh, I love Tony Todd. And I loved him in the advert for the game as well when it first came out. And the first thing it said at the end was, "The future is black, just like Tony Todd." If it had said that in the advert, which it never would because that could be deemed racist, it would have just made my day. Because Tony Todd cannot disagree with the fact that he is a huge black guy, and I love the fact that he is a huge black guy. It just makes him so much cooler. And if you don't know who I'm on about, he plays the General, like Riggs I think his name is. And if you're observant, he also plays kind of the caretaker slash morgue worker slash dude that turns up in Final Destination and somehow knows what's happening. He plays that guy. He's such a good actor too. I really like Tony Todd. But this is a bit of a quiet moment now that everybody's dead. Oh, maybe not, there's that guy over there. Like that there. Any other Call of Duty, I would have been dead. You can't survive moments where you don't know where the enemy is. You just can't do it. It's not how it works. And because I've hacked that turret, I'm kind of thinking it's still a bad guy when it's not. The scanner just picked up... Look at this goo. Oh, I remember this. I was like, why is he doing a commando roll over a box and being all super dramatic? And then it turns out there were a dude he'd not killed who nearly killed me. I'm curious of what people think though. Is this difficulty direction more to your tastes? Or do you prefer the, you know, bobbing up for a second to shoot 1 or 2 guys before immediately hitting the ground on your belly nearly dead? Which do you... Oh, shot a friendly. Which do you prefer? Oh, kill the friendly. That's what you get, son. I tried to tell you to get out of the way so I could shoot the bad guy, and what did you do? You Kevin Costner'd him. Wasn't even Whitney Houston. But there's an ammo box if you needed it. keep on moving forward. This is, I believe, we're coming up towards the big twist moment, the big... Yes, we are. And the only thing you've missed there, guys, is I controlled the bad guy, and I walked forward and made a decision with my giant magnum. The decision is, do you kill Tony Todd or don't you kill Tony Todd? And the reason I didn't leave it in is because I killed Tony Todd, and I couldn't bring myself to keep it in the guide. Guy's too awesome. Reason I did it is because I wanted to do it differently to the first time through the game, and a couple of things changed. Like, there's a couple of different stuff that happened. For instance, in the cutscene that just happened, there was a guy, I was like, who's that random Asian guy just knocking about? And it turns out it was Fahid, sorry, off the previous mission, who I saved instead of killing him. And it's little twists like that happen. There's a lot of subtle changes in the campaign of this game, and it's a really good thing. But some of the, some of the really obvious things they could have done have just not been done. Like, Call of Duty 4 had a scoring game. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't the most fun because it was timed, and anything that's timed, I generally don't find to be too much fun. But, when it's done correctly, scoring can be really good. Just look at Halo. Halo had fantastic scoring. And I just wish these campaigns would try a little bit harder. And it's not even difficult things to do, it's things they've already implemented in different areas. I don't get it, guys, I really don't. And hopefully, when I keep on sending these emails out saying, I'm a pretty passionate guy, I love gaming and I want to be part of the industry in any facility I can, somebody's going to turn around and say, I'll give you a chance, and I'll be able to make these differences and say these things that need to be said. We do not need another escort mission unless the escortable person cannot be killed. Come on, nobody wants to tail someone in a car where they have to stay a certain amount of distance behind them, and if they take a wrong turn, they fuck it up. Nobody wants that. But this sequence here, you're literally going to be going cover to cover, like we've done for most of the game, killing soldiers to try and get to the plane. This is one of those moments where there is soldiers all around you, but for some reason they have a lot of difficulty shooting you, and I think the AI has been put to a lot more lenient than it can be, because I don't get shot a lot here and I'm really aggressive, and towards the end, because I was having so much success, I decided to just be super aggressive and push all the way up to the plane. At one point I'm going to try and go a direction that the game won't let you go. There's actually a barricade stopping you, so just ignore me when I go this direction, because this is not the way, folks. It's just not how it's done, and I made a mistake. Because I assumed that you could go any direction, but you'll notice 58 meters that way, I'm using this as cover, it's all working my way, and it turns out you cannot get round this side of the plane, I believe. Is this the bit when I'm trying to go? Yeah, I think I try and jump onto this wing, and it doesn't work. I get shot from behind. Oh, that was close. That was super close. Thank you, Electrofist. Can't get past the planes, can't get past the planes. I'm like, come on, Call of Duty, is it really this binary? Do we have to go the other way? But it is. So, don't make that mistake, learn from mine. Use your grenades. This is the end of the mission, you don't have to worry about ammo. It is pretty hectic though. It reminds me of, on Modern Warfare 2, do you remember the plane graveyard? It reminds me of a less detailed version of that, but probably a much more fun section, because I didn't enjoy that section at all. There was too many dudes. And Modern Warfare 2 on Veteran was challenging. It wasn't insanely challenging, but it was significantly more challenging than this. And this is the moment when I'm just like, fuck this, I'm not getting shot, I'm too good to die. So I just decided to just run and gun it, and it does kind of work. But I could have easily died. I still can, that being said. So I'm just like, get on it, get on the plane, see you later. And that's the end of the level, guys. So thanks for watching, I hope it helped, and you take care now.